Hey, this is Victor from Smoky Pan, and today we're mixing omurice and risotto to make Omurisotto. I thought I was smart, but a restaurant in Singapore already did it. Let's go anyway. So, this is based off my grandma's chicken and mushroom recipe, so we're gonna go with onion, mushrooms, some garlic, and a little bit of ginger, which is an unusual addition in risotto, I know. We're peeling this ginger with Jesus Christ. With a spoon. Anyway, peel it with a spoon. We want that ginger flavor in there because it is kind of a chicken and shiitake recipe. So, alright. Okay, so go ahead and cut your ginger into thin little strips, as thin as you can possibly manage, or as thin as you want to take a bite out of. And set that aside. Now we're going to grab our mushrooms. So these mushrooms here might get the silly idea that they can escape, but show them who's boss and cut them with a knife to make sure that they cannot run away. Anyway, slice your mushrooms nice and small, manageable bite-sized pieces for a risotto. And then go onto your garlic. Give them a nice little love tap with your knife, because after you show them a little love, we're gonna run them through with a knife. Yeah, okay, get these nice and small. Again, not too large, not too small. These are going on the chicken, the sauce, and the rice, so use your best judgment. Alright, next the onion. Now, this is kind of the French-ish way to slice, where you go vertically and make as many scores as you can vertically, and then you go horizontally, like once or twice. I decided to go with once. Honestly, just use your best judgment here. This is home cooking for a quarantine. Screw it. Anyway, get them nice and small, and then into the pan. We're going to throw a little bit of chicken skin with a little bit of salt. Okay, a lot of salt. And get that on low heat so it starts rendering out the fat. Then into a mixing bowl, we're going to pour hoisin, throw our chicken thighs. If you have chicken thighs, if you have chicken breasts, use whatever meat you want for this. It is your risotto. And then I'm going to mix in some basil, lemongrass, and ginger. Just once I get the thighs in there, they're all going to get mixed in. And remember, all of this is happening while the skins are slowly frying on the pan, getting crispier and crispier. And as soon as you're done tossing, it would be a good idea to go back to the pan and see how crispy the skins have become. Alright, so we're back on the pan now, and this is the sound you want to hear. Loud, loud crackling. Oh yeah. So, that means that they're almost ready, maybe another 2 minutes or so. But look, I'm going to grab the piece up, bring it to the camera, and show you what you're looking for on one side. Yeah, more or less that. That's a nice golden blonde. But we want these golden brown, so we're going to keep them in a little bit longer. Once they're golden brown and crispy to the touch, remove the chicken skins and leave a little bit of that fat on the pan. With that fat, we're going to fry up our chicken thighs. I'm doing one because I just made one portion for an early dinner. And then while that's frying, throw in the onions first, then the mushrooms. Grind in some black pepper for good measure. And then some ginger. Give it a toss. You're going to flip the chicken skin and think that it's maybe a little too dark, but actually that's just the hoisin glaze that's caramelized on the bottom. Now throw in some rice and toss it around until it's semi-translucent, a little bit translucent. We're making a risotto after all. So the thing about risotto is it's generally done with short grain or arborio rice, but here we're using jasmine. And I threw in some chicken broth. You can use whatever broth, stocks, or soups you want. Now with risotto, you have to add the broth a little bit at a time. Let it absorb and then add some more. I actually used excess broth here because I used the extra to make the sauce afterwards. Now when the rice is eventually tender enough, you're going to remove the chicken and the rice into a bowl, probably with a strainer, because you want to leave all that sauce in the pan to reduce. Look at how wiggly that rice is. Yeah, that's risotto. So anyway, you're going to take that, set it aside, and now you're going to add some tomato sauce into the remaining sauce. Sauce on sauce on sauce all day. Then you're going to add some garlic and maybe a little water to loosen up the bits that might have burned to the bottom of the pan. So get a pan going with some butter, and then we're going to crack 3 eggs into a bowl. First one looks a little ugly, that's okay. We're just going to scramble them anyway. And then Okay, yeah, make sure you get all the eggshells out. Just take your time, get the shells. Okay, third time's the charm, and okay, looking good so far. And shells just keep on dropping. No, 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 no! Anyway, I'm gonna fish the shells out, beat the hell out of the eggs because I'm angry now. And we're gonna put these eggs into the pan. Right, so once your eggs have scrambled, go ahead and drop them into the pan and switch to a spatula because you want to move the cooked parts of the egg to the center while you leave the raw parts to flood outside and kind of fill out the rest of the pan. The technique here is basically the Japanese omelet technique, which is actually an upgraded version of the French omelet technique. There's really not much else I can tell you about this. Just keep on stirring, keep your heat on medium-low-ish, and keep wiggling the pan. See how wibbly that is? So my first mistake here was trying to fold this with a spatula, because guess what? When you try to switch to flipping it with a pan, like this, then it doesn't have that extra circumference that it needs to, wait, am I thinking about diameter? Anyway, geometry aside, just try to flip your egg closed, pour it over your risotto and whole chicken thigh. Okay, I went rogue. You do you. Anyway, right, pour it over your risotto and chicken thigh and unfold the omelet. Oh yeah, look at that. Back to the sauce. So this is thickened quite a bit, so I added a little water and stirred it around just to get the bits off the bottom and also to get the right consistency. And then I'm going to pour it over the omelet. This is one of the great comfort foods of Japan. I mean, Omurice. And then there's risotto. And remember those fried chicken skins? Just top that off. And there you have it. Omurice, risotto, Omurisotto.